Hello everyone, today we meet for a video that will show you how to sew our sewing pattern Grand Ours. It is a cardigan with double lining or not, with hood or without hood, but which has a detail we like at Ikatee, the ears. Here we have chosen to show you the simplest version without lining and without hood, and the second version that's more technical with double lining and with hood. So you will see, depending on the variants that you choose, the pattern will be more or less technical. But no panic, it remains quite easy for beginners. Let's go! We will start with the ears. You must have seen in the pattern, you can choose to make little ears of bear or rabbit. We start here with bear ears. Put them in place and stitch them according to the stitch line indicated on the pattern, the dotted line. It will allow us to make a nice, regular and identical stitch on both ears. Then we will give volume to these ears, and this is where that comes into play the two small lines that you saw on the pattern. They will actually serve us as small clamps. Fold in the middle of your ears, right sides together, and follow exactly the line. Now you just have to snip seam allowances to have a nice round and to turn them inside out. Now we go to the rabbit ears. We chose to do them in two different fabrics to give them a little more fun. Here it's up to you to choose and to be creative. In the same way as previously, the ears are stitched right sides together along the stitch line. We snip and turn everything the same way. Now we will shape our ears. In fact, it is quite simple. We will take each end and bring it back to the center of the ear. Use pins or clamps so that it holds until the sewing, and this is it. We are now moving on to the body of the garment. We will start with the unlined and hoodless version. As you can see, we chose two different fabrics because we found the first fabric a little too thin to use alone, but we will use both as if it were a single fabric. To make it easier for you, the black and white corresponds to the right side of the fabric, and the mustard with tigers is the wrong side of the fabric. Here we go. We will start by placing our ears on the two fronts. It's up to you to see if you want them rather up or down. Then we place our raglan sleeves. You'll see it's very simple, maybe even simpler than conventional armholes. Just assemble the front of the sleeves with the shortest part. Pin right sides together and sandwich the ears while stitching. We do the same thing with the back. If you want the ears to stay in place, you can stitch the seam allowances to the front. Now, place the sides of the sleeve and the sides together and sew. Be careful to align the seams of the lower arm. We will now tackle the hems of the sleeves. The first fold is made at 1 cm with the iron, then a second at 3 cm. Stitch the bottom and top of sleeves to stay in place, or all around. All we have to do now is to put the bias. It is probably the longest stage, but nothing you can't do. We then pin our bias all along the garment. For the connection of the bias, there are several possibilities. You can simply overlay it on a few millimeters, or, as we did, leave 2 centimeters and stitch this way. Once sewn, snip seams for nice rounds in the same way as for the ears. Now, turn the bias over the right side and there is only to stitch it in place all around. All that remains for us is to make the buttonholes and sew the buttons. The two top buttons will actually give you the eyes of our bear. There are two important things to remember about buttonholes. First, refer to the instructions of your sewing machine, and second, check that the can is full. You can also choose to sew another 4 buttons underneath, depending on the style you want to give your cardigan. There you go, your Grand Ours cardigan is finished. Easy, no? We will now sew our second model, a double lining version with a hood. a striped jersey and a pink fabric for the lining were chosen. Let's go! We start in the same way as for the other. We sew our sleeves to the body, initially in the outer fabric, and then with our lining fabric. Sew the sleeves and the sides in the same way, in our striped jersey, then in the lining. Now the hood. Fold the hood as shown, right sides together, according to the middle line of the hood. Stitch the back middle line of the hood. We do the same with our lining fabric. For now, it does not look so much like a hood, but you'll see. Fold the hood as shown, right sides together, and voila! It immediately looks like a hood. This is the time when we place our ears. You pinch them at each end of the hem opening and you sew. We do the same for the lining, except that we have no ears to place this time. Once it's done, we put the hoods one in the other, right side against right side, and prick their edges to the front. The seam margins are placed on the lining side and are pinned to hold. We go back to the right side, we iron, and that's it. You've just made a doubled hood. We'll take care of the body of our cardigan in the outer fabric, and we will pin our hood to the neck. Start with the back, aligning the middle back with the middle of our hood, and we pin on each side. We check that our hood is well centered and we stitch at 5 mm in the margin of sewing. We now take the lining of our cardigan and we pin it from the neck to the waistcoat. We stitch all around, leaving a 6 cm opening down, which will allow us to return our work on the right side. The hood is sandwiched in the seam. Now you'll have to trust us because it's weird. You're going to feel like you're doing it wrong, but you'll see. Once the garment is returned, the magic will occur. Take the left sleeve of the outer fabric and the left sleeve of the lining and you pin them right side to right side like this. Be careful at this time that the sleeves are not twisted. Take your time and do not hesitate to redo it if you have a doubt. Do the same with the other sleeve and stitch so you end up with sleeves that look like circles. Snip in the curves of your garment and turn it inside out by the opening left at the bottom. And here's your grandiose cardigan with double lining. The opening left in the bottom is closed by an invisible seam by hand. All you have to do is to make the buttonholes and put the buttons, choosing the arrangement you prefer. As you can see, it's a pretty versatile pattern which leaves you with many options possible. Do not hesitate to make it reversible, to interchange the ears, to change fabrics according to the seasons and to test the different versions, which will give you each time a different rendering. And above all, have fun!